Our support groups meet about 6 weeks, and we meet once a week. When folks usually, the first time they come in, people are so broken and tearful, and I've had people say, I just don't feel like I can go on, or I feel like I'm going crazy. I just don't know how I can keep living. And by the end of the support group, they're beginning to laugh, they're beginning to feel some normalcy. And that's our goal, to normalize that grief process, because oftentimes people have never had a loss. And so it's their first time, and all the emotions that are going on in their life, they just don't know what to do with that. And so once they understand by talking to their peers that it's the same thing other people are going through, and it just has a way of normalizing their grief. And so the goal is, by the time we get through the 6 weeks, they can say, okay, I can really do this. I can get through this. And I think the big understanding that comes as well is that we don't get over a person we lose, but we do learn to cope. And so many times people come in and they have this assumption that they have to get over that loved one. But nothing could be further from the truth. If someone is near and dear to us, they will always be near and dear to us. We just have to have a different way of celebrating their life and then going forward with our own as well.
After a patient dies, we contact the person we term the bereaved party, which means they kind of serve as representative for a whole lot of bereaved people. And we do that within about 2 weeks or so of the patient's death, when some of the heavy support that they have initially is kind of dispersing, and when their needs tend to kind of peak, and we find out how they're doing emotionally, and it takes sometimes a little listening before the person will tell you actually how they really are feeling. And so we kind of just wait, and most people are doing very well, but some people are very glad to have us available, and we offer individual bereavement sessions with patients, either here at the hospice house, over the phone, or sometimes visiting in the bereaved person's home, or meeting at some other site. And we also twice a year do a bereavement support group, one in the fall and one in the spring. Our fall group's going to be starting in a few weeks. It will meet for 6 consecutive Tuesday evenings here at the hospice house, and people find those groups to be very helpful, where they can not only receive the assurance, first of all, that they're not going crazy, because they hear other people who talk about having similar experiences, but also they can just do some good work on healing and learning how to continue to heal, because grief is an ongoing process. And they can help others out at the same time. So that's a long-term or an intermediate-term service we provide, and one of my favorite things to do, really.